Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are picking up right where we left off. Now, before we get into the heavy lifting today, I just want to acknowledge something that seems small, but is actually, well, it's huge. You're here. You hit play.
It is the hardest part, isn't it? That decision to just begin.
It really is.
Yeah.
Showing up is half the battle. So if you were with us for our breakdown of Chapter 1, you'll remember we identified this massive structural problem and how most people learn a language. We called it the 90-10 split.
Right. The trap, where
Right.
you spend 90% of your time just consuming content, watching videos, scrolling, listening, and maybe, if you're lucky, 10% actually using the language yourself.
It's the illusion of competence, right? You feel like you're learning because you understand, but you aren't actually producing anything. And today, for this deep dive into Chapter 2, the first... we are flipping that ratio completely on its head.
We are. Today's not about passive observation. We are declaring an official end to gym watching.
I love that metaphor from the notes. Gym watching. It's such a vivid image because I think we've all been that person at some point. Maybe not at the gym, but definitely in a classroom.
Break that down for us. What does it look like in language learning?
Well, imagine you decide you want to get fit. You buy the expensive membership, you get the brand new gear, you drive to the gym.
Yeah.
And then you just stand in the corner and watch other people lift weights for an hour. You see someone run a perfect 5K and you nod, thinking, wow, good form. I get it. I understand how running works.
And then you go home.
Then you go home. You know, intellectually, you understand the theory of exercise. You know what a bicep curl looks like. But you haven't built a single ounce of muscle. You are exactly as strong as when you walked in.
That is precisely what so many of us do with English. We watch others do it. We think, just by osmosis, we're getting better. But today, we're picking up the weights. We are building the muscle of identity.
And to do that, we have to stick to a core philosophy that kept coming up in the research. If you take nothing else away today, it's this phrase: connection, not perfection.
Connection, not perfection. It sounds catchy, but it's a fundamental shift in cognitive priority. When you prioritize perfection, you silence yourself. When you prioritize connection, you speak.
It has to be that way. Because today we're focusing on the first hello. And honestly, it sounds so simple. Day one stuff. But your name and where you come from, those are the first tools you have to establish a real human bond. If you can't get past that hello, the rest of the conversation, well, it never happens.
And yet for so many learners, that first hello is the scariest part. It's the moment of highest tension.
So let's unpack that. Why is it so hard? I mean, logically, saying hello should be the easiest thing in the world. It's one word. But it can feel like standing on a cliff edge.
The source material calls this the psychology of freezing. It's a very real documented phenomenon. It's not just shyness. It's a kind of cognitive overload.
Oh, I have absolutely felt this. You walk up to someone, you know what you want to say, you've rehearsed it in your head 1,000 times, but then just nothing comes out. The brain just locks up.
Why do you think that happens, from your perspective, as someone who's been in the trenches of learning?
I think it's the fear of being wrong. It's that pressure to sound perfect, immediately. You're standing there thinking, okay, is it I am or my name is? Which one's more formal? Which one sounds smarter? And while you're having that whole internal debate, the moment it's gone.
You're overthinking the grammar. You're trying to edit the script before you've even performed. And this brings us to a critical concept from the research, which I think is fascinating. The 3-second rule.
The 3-second rule. This isn't about dropped food, right?
No, definitely not. This is about social physics. The window of opportunity to enter a conversation, to introduce yourself, it's incredibly short. It's roughly 3 seconds.
3 seconds. Wow. That's barely a breath.
It is fast, but if you hesitate for longer than that to choose the best grammar, the window closes, the dynamic shifts. The other person looks away, they pull out their phone, the silence becomes awkward.
So speed matters more than style.
Absolutely. The logic is simple. I am and my name is are effectively the same. They achieve the exact same goal. One is not better than the other in a casual setting.
But the learner thinks one might be wrong, or that it reveals they're a beginner.
And that is the trap. The hesitation is the tell, not the grammar. So don't waste time choosing. Just choose the first one that comes to mind. If I am pops to your head, say it. If my name is comes first, say that. The goal is to break the silence, not win a poetry contest.
That is surprisingly liberating. It's almost like giving yourself permission to be messy. Just go with the first instinct. But, okay, let me play devil's advocate. What happens if your mind just goes completely blank?
The blue screen of death scenario.
Exactly. You forget a word. Or, and I've seen this happen, you forget the English name for your own city. You just freeze.
That's the nightmare scenario, but we have a tool for that. It's called a buffer phrase.
A buffer phrase. I like that. Sounds technical.
It's a verbal stall tactic, but a professional one. When native speakers need time to think, they don't just stand there in silence. They use filler language that signals, I'm still here, I'm just processing.
Right. Whereas a learner usually just goes silent. And silence looks like failure.
Silence looks like you don't understand the language. So the specific phrase we want to equip you with is this.
Let me think about that for a second.
Let me think about that for a second. Okay, let's break that down. Why does that specific phrase work better than just saying,
First, it keeps you in control. If you just stand there, mouth open, you look lost,
mm?
vulnerable. But if you say, let me think about that for a second, you're speaking English. You are demonstrating competence.
So you're basically telling them, I understand you, I'm intelligent, I'm just retrieving the file.
Exactly. It buys you time without losing face.
It's like putting a loading bar on your forehead. It tells people the computer's still working, it hasn't crashed. That's a perfect analogy. It signals you're still in the game, and crucially, it relaxes the other person. If you're silent, they get anxious, they want to help you or escape. A buffer phrase makes them wait patiently.
That is such a key insight. We forget conversations are a two-way street. Your anxiety makes them anxious. So we have the mindset, connection, not perfection. We have the strategy, the 3-second rule, buffer phrases. Now, let's get into the toolbox. What are the actual bricks we're building with?
We are stripping this down to the absolute essentials, just 3 specific words that act as the foundation for that first interaction.
Just 3 words. That seems minimal.
It's minimal by design. Complexity is the enemy of execution. If you can master these 3 concepts, you can survive any introduction anywhere in the world.
All right, lay them on us. What's word number 1?
Word 1 is name.
Name. It seems basic, but this is your identity.
Precisely. And the phrase we're attaching to this is simple. My name is, followed by your name.
Is there any nuance here about accents? I know some people worry about whether to, anglicize their name or say it the native way.
That is a common question. The advice in the chapter is to say it clearly, maybe a little slower than you would in your native language, but own your name. My name is the vehicle. Your name is the cardo.
Simple. Direct. Okay, what's word number 2?
Word 2 is from.
From. This is the bridge, right?
It is the bridge. It gives context. It places you in the world. The phrase is, I am from
California, or I am from Tokyo. It immediately invites the other person to ask about it. Oh, California, is it sunny? It starts things.
Exactly. It provides a hook. Without from, you're just a name floating in space. From grounds you. And finally, word number 3, meet.
Meet, as in the action itself, to connect.
The phrase, of course, is the universal closer. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. It seals the deal. It signals the interaction was positive.
Think of it as the handshake at the end of the verbal transaction. If you can articulate these 3 concepts, identity, name, origin, from, and connection, meet, you have successfully navigated the first. Hello, you've survived.
It sounds so manageable when you break it down like that. But here's the problem with audiobooks or, deep dives like this. We are currently gym watching. We're talking about lifting the weights, but we aren't actually lifting them.
We are not, and we promised active output.
So this is where we shift gears. We're going to move into the practice phase. And I want to be really clear to you listening right now. This is the part where you need to actually open your mouth.
If you're on the bus, whisper it. If you're alone in your car, shout it. But do not stay silent. The brain learns differently when the muscles of the mouth are moving.
We're going to run this through what the notes call muscle memory loops. We'll do 3 distinct rounds.
Building this up layer by layer.
Okay, so explain round 1.
Round 1 is exact mimicry. I want you to listen to what I say and then repeat it exactly. Do not change a thing. Just copy my sound, my intonation, my speed.
So even if your name isn't Joe, you're going to say Joe.
For this round, yes, you're just calibrating the machine, you're acting.
Okay, listeners, get ready. We're leaving a silence just for you. Fill that silence. Do not let it stay empty.
Here we go. Listen and repeat. Hello. Silence for 3 seconds. My name is Joe. Silence for 3 seconds. I am from London. Silence for 3 seconds.
Nice to meet you.
Silence for 3 seconds.
Okay, good. That was the warm-up. If you actually did it, you might feel a little silly, but your mouth is moving. You're no longer just an observer.
That was just calibration. Now we move to round 2. Personalization.
This is where it gets real. You are not Joe from London. You are you.
I will say the first part of the sentence, but I will leave a blank space at the end. You need to fill that space with your own information, your
Yeah.
real name, your real city.
So if your name is Sarah and you're from New York, you say that. And this is tricky, right? Because you have to think and speak at the same time.
This forces the brain to retrieve information while maintaining the grammatical structure. Ready? Use your information. Hello. Silence for 3 seconds. My name is... Silence for 4. I'm from Summon. Silence for 4 seconds. Nice to meet you. Silence for 3 seconds.
Yes, you're doing it. I can feel the energy shifting. You're actually introducing yourself now. It changes the feeling, doesn't it, when it's your own truth?
It does. It raises the stakes slightly because you're presenting yourself to the world. But we're not done. We have one more round, round 3.
What's the goal of round 3?
Speed and fluency. We need to beat what I call silent student syndrome, that hesitation we talked about, the 3-second rule. We are going to crush it with speed.
Okay, so a faster pace.
Much faster. I want you to toss these phrases out without thinking. Don't let your brain check the grammar. Just speak.
All right, listeners, last set, best set. Let's go fast.
Hello, my name is Armis. Silence for 4 seconds. I am from. Nice to meet you. Silence for 5 seconds.
Whoa, okay, that was quick. I am from. Nice to meet you. Boom, boom.
That is the rhythm of real conversation. It doesn't wait for you to conjugate verbs in your head.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
If you played along with us just now, you literally just spoke more English in these last few minutes than most people do in a week of using some language app.
That is a fact. And it highlights the difference between passive input and active output. You just built muscle. You didn't just look at the weights.
But here's the catch. We can't just do this once and expect to be fluent, right? That's like doing one push-up and expecting to look like a bodybuilder.
Exactly. Your comprehension might be high, you might understand everything we're saying, but your speaking requires daily reps. The muscle of identity atrophies very quickly if you don't use it.
Which brings us to the homework. And I know nobody likes homework, but this is different. This is how you lock in what you just did.
This is a command, not a suggestion, if you want to see results.
We want you to take out your phone, open the voice recorder app, every phone has one, and we want you to record a voice note introducing yourself.
Imagine you're sending it to a ghost friend, someone you haven't met yet. Or to us.
Hi, my name is Heike. I am from VocaCast. Nice to meet you. Just like we practiced.
But there are rules, strict rules. If you break these rules, the exercise doesn't count.
Lay them out. Rule number 1.
No script. You are not allowed to write it down and read it. You must speak from your mind.
That's harder than it sounds. Writing gives us a safety net. It makes us feel prepared.
Exactly. We're removing the net. We want you to rely on your brain, not a piece of paper. Rule number 2, no deleting.
Ooh, that's the tough one. I am so guilty of this. I record something, I hear a weird breath or a stumble, and I immediately hit delete.
It is the most important rule. If you stumble, if you say, if you make a mistake, keep it. Do not delete and re-record.
Why is that so important? Why keep the mistakes?
Because in real life, there is no delete button. You cannot rewind a conversation at a coffee shop. You cannot say edit undo when you're talking to a stranger. You have to get comfortable with the imperfection, with the messy reality of speaking.
That's really profound. So the recording isn't about having a perfect audio file. It's about practicing the acceptance of your own voice, flaws and all.
Precisely. It is exposure therapy. You need to hear yourself struggling and realize that the world didn't end. You're still standing.
Just talk. That's the assignment.
Just talk. It's the only way to bridge the gap between knowing the language and living the language.
I love that. And speaking of living the language, let's take a quick look ahead. We've conquered the first hello. We have our identity, our origin, our connection, but a hello is just the start.
Right. Now that we've introduced ourselves, we need to go somewhere.
And what's coming up in Chapter 3?
We're heading to a classic setting, the coffee shop.
The coffee shop. The ultimate test of ordering, paying, and small talk. It's so high pressure because there's always a line of people behind you.
It is where the rubber meets the road. Navigating a menu, dealing with numbers, dealing with a barista who is speaking fast. That's where we go next.
That is going to be fun. But for today, you have your mission, you have your toolbox, you have the 3-second rule.
Remember, don't just listen to this deep dive. Go use it. Send that voice note. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Be the person who lifts the weights.
Thanks for showing up today, everyone. Keep building that muscle. We'll see you in the next chapter.